Guns and drug sales are the two most profitable illegal industries in Colombia. Number three, selling animals. And tonight we go undercover and inside an underground trading ring where the mysterious sloth is being illegally sold to the highest bidders. Here's ABC's John Schriffen, who journeyed to Cordoba, Colombia, to find out more about this unlikely and surprisingly popular enterprise.
After driving for hours through this rural part of Colombia, we finally arrive. That man eyeing us suspiciously, an alleged animal trafficker. Inside this house, we are told he has illegal exotic animals for sale.
All right, I'm rolling.
Zoologist Lucy Cook and I are about to pose as curious customers. Armed with only our hidden cameras rolling, we want to see for ourselves how easy it is to buy wild and rare animals.
Hello.
The young man is skeptical, but he agrees to unveil one of the hottest selling animals in these parts.
Wow, what is this?
The sloth. It's a startling sight. Inside a small crate on this dirt floor,
This is a pale-throated sloth.
a rare species of sloth and her two babies, all for sale.
And the two babies are clearly clutching onto the mother and they don't want to let go. They're all for sale, but they're willing to sell them separately. But as you can see, this is a pretty tight family right here. What do I need to do to take care of them?
Our local guide Samuel translates as we start asking questions.
Una vaca? Yeah. Vaca. Okay, so milk from a cow.
Their knowledge of sloth caretaking seems limited at best.
That if you give cow's milk to these animals, it kills them. All the ones that are raised in captivity, you have to give them goat's milk.
Lucy says the prospects for this family are bleak.
If you just sold them and fed them cow's milk,
Right.
I don't see them surviving.
When they sell them, do they sell a lot?
Sí, they sell a lot to tourists.
I'd love to know how many customers does he get in an average month?
But the more questions we ask, the more suspicious the traffickers become. People from the village are gathering around us.
They're definitely suspicious.
Our guide Samuel is now worried about his safety.
That guy is really sketchy. He threatened me, saying me that be careful if I was from the CBS, that is the Environmental Authority, because he will get me.
It's a shocking scene for us, but one that's playing out all across Colombia.
How much is this sloth?
$30.
Sloths sold as pets. There's just one problem.
They did not evolve to be somebody's house pet. Sloths make lousy pets. You know, that's the truth of it.
Lucy describes it as the curse of cute. Adorable as they are, sloths are notoriously difficult to keep alive in captivity. Behind the easygoing nature, the apparent fondness for hugs, and that perpetual smile is a highly specialized biology that leaves them unable to survive outside the rainforest. Their diet includes about 40 different species of plant, not easy to provide at home.
Oh, you have another sloth in there.
Yet business is booming. Animal trafficking is now the third most lucrative criminal enterprise after drugs and guns. We found these men selling sloths openly on the side of the road to any passerby, along with wild birds.
Oh, so you cut the wings so these birds can't fly away.
And even monkeys.
$50 for a monkey. Very, very fragile. The monkey's almost shaking right now.
Suddenly, a car pulls up next to us, and the traffickers scatter.
Somebody just honked their horn and now these guys are running away.
They return when they realize it's just a passerby looking for a photo op.
These guys got scared as soon as they saw anyone approach because they know what they're doing is illegal.
And this little thing here has been rescued from the traffickers.
Which is why Lucy brought us here to the UNAU Sloth Sanctuary just outside Medellin.
When people buy them, they don't want the claws on them, so the traffickers cut the claws.
The mission here is to reintroduce baby sloths orphaned by trafficking back into the wild.
This is to teach them foraging behavior that encourages them to search for their own food. Because if I just fed you like that, you'd become a pet and you'd never go back in the wild again, would you, mister?
Lucy considers herself a sloth advocate. She's behind the viral hits like Bucket of Sloths and Meet the Sloths. And her new book, The Little Book of Sloth, is a thoughtful reflection on her slow-moving friends. Sort of.
Basically, the book's cute crack. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to be all lofty and go, yeah, it's a really serious book about sloths. It isn't. It's cute crack, basically.
But don't let the cuteness fool you. Keeping a sloth alive and healthy is hard, even for professionals.
You don't find them in zoos. You don't find three-fingered sloths in zoos in the States because they're so difficult to keep. So the idea that any old Joe could just keep one as a pet is a bit of a fantasy, really.
But that hasn't stopped some people in the United States from trying. And the results can be grim. This undercover video filmed by PETA shows how poorly several sloths were treated at a pet distributor in Arlington, Texas. They were kept in small, filthy cages with none of the specialized equipment they need to survive in captivity, like heat lamps and humidifiers, which might explain why, when authorities raided the facility in 2009, the bodies of several sloths were found in the freezer.
They are fed one by one.
Well, back in Colombia, UNAU sanctuary owner Tinka Plessy knows caring for sloths is serious business. Here she is feeding her newest arrival goat's milk. Tinka is fiercely protective of her babies, hushing anyone who disrupts nap time. Even developing this homemade incense ritual, she says, helps them de-stress from the trauma of being trafficked.
So that warms her little chest and she likes it.
While Tinka happily welcomes new arrivals, she says the key to keeping sloths in the wild is for authorities to crack down on trafficking in the first place. Which is why we travel to Cordoba, a region of Colombia notorious for its illegal wildlife trade. Our guide Samuel tells us traffickers operate in the area with impunity because paramilitary groups are still in control and the police stay clear.
We're looking for sloths.
To find the traffickers, this man points us to the main road just outside town. We head a few miles, past the empty police station, past the giant no trafficking sign,
Look at our beautiful face.
and find ourselves at that house with the sloths for sale in the crate.
Have you ever seen anything like
I
this?
think this is my first time I've ever seen a pale sloth. I'm going to hold it together so you tell me what I'm inside. I feel very sad.
Right now, we have a decision to make. It's a dicey situation. The traffickers are surrounding us, and they are expecting a sale.
I'm not joking that he threatened me when I first come and he saw you guys and everyone
In the car, yeah.
Samuel says the best decision for our safety and the sloth safety is to buy them, the whole family, for $125. We load them into our van and leave the area quickly. We head to a nearby farm that Tinka says is a perfect location for the sloths to be released. Or, as she describes it, liberated. She checks their condition one more time. They are healthy enough to survive on their own. No need to take them back to her sanctuary.
They look fine. She looks fine, the baby looks fine.
She finds an area with plenty of tall trees and branches for them to hang on. Then our emotional journey comes full circle. We watch as this little family slowly makes its way back into the wild, right where it belongs. For Nightline, I'm John Schriffen in Colombia.